Okay, just first of all, good afternoon to everybody. Great to have you guys on. And, needless to say, we're just really excited about this opportunity to play in the ReliaQuest Bowl and against a team like Vanderbilt. So we still view it as a very significant accomplishment to play in a bowl game, especially one as good as this. And then obviously it's a big, going to be a big challenge for us to play an opponent as good as Vanderbilt. So those two things are twofold. It's our 23rd invitation now to a bowl since 2001. Certainly proud of that. And I think the best part about it's just an opportunity to compete one more time and for our team to be together for another 4 weeks. So that's one of the real benefits of playing in a bowl game. Certainly Tampa, and we know this through experience, Tampa is a great destination. It's just a great city to host a bowl game. And then equally as important, maybe more so, is just Jim McVay, the group down there do a great job of making it a great experience for the teams, the players, most importantly, the players, but also our fans. The fans have had a great time also as well throughout history. So I think that's a really big thing. Needless to say, Vanderbilt's had a really tremendous season, 12th ranked in the country, 10 wins in a tough conference. And I think their only two losses were away games against really outstanding opponents. But Coach Lee's done an unbelievable job building that. I don't pretend to be an expert on Vanderbilt football, but they've really gained traction here the last couple of years, and this year we're just really close to being in the playoffs from everything I can understand. So rightfully so. So congratulations to them on a great year, and really proud of our team. As I've been saying since really spring ball got going. This has been a great group to work with. Our guys have been really good going back to January, great leadership. And, for us to have a chance to be together for one more month, to play a really quality opponent like Vanderbilt and do it in a place like Tampa in the ReliaQuest Bowl, it's a really good day. So really happy for our team and look forward to the opportunity, look forward to the challenge in front. I'll throw it out for questions.
Great. Thanks, Coach. We'll start with Tom Kakert. Go ahead and unmute, and she's all yours.
Hey, Kirk, just wanted to ask you, I know you've been having meetings with your players over the last week. Has anybody said, like, hey, I'm probably not going to play in the bowl game, going to opt out, going to transfer, anything like that might impact your team going to the bowl game?
Yeah, I wish I could bank all this stuff on past experience, but any past experience I have, which at this point is lengthy, it really is kind of irrelevant because we're already seeing things. We saw things today that I can't remember ever seeing. Long story short, to answer your question, the meetings went really well last week. Every indication I have right now is our entire roster is ready to roll. But that being said, we still have a couple of weeks till game time, so I'll keep everybody posted. But right now, I think our team's really eager to accept this opportunity and looking forward to the challenge.
Mitch Fick.
Hey, Coach. Pavi has obviously gotten a ton of headlines for Vanderbilt, and it's helped turn that team into what they are this year. You've got a similar parallel with Gronowski, and just when you find your guy and what he can do to a team's belief, I guess, how much Vanderbilt film have you gotten to watch, or just on TV watching a guy like that do what he's done the last couple of years there in Nashville?
Yeah, pretty much none is my depth of knowledge right now. Other than I saw bits and pieces of the Tennessee game. We had a rare 11 o'clock kickoff, I think, last week, right? Or whatever week that would have been. Well, no, I guess it was maybe our off day, actually, day after. But anyway, I got a window there, but a little bit familiar with his background, the impact he's had on the program. One thing I think the more football you watch, just the impact of, if you don't have a quarterback, it's a real challenge. We've lived that in recent times. A couple of years ago, we won 10 games with, a second, third team quarterback, and that's not easy. A year ago, we had some ups and downs. So anytime, that's a challenge. All right. If you got a solid quarterback, that's a good thing, certainly. And then if you have a guy that can really impact the program, which I know their quarterback has done, certainly Mark's done that for us, then that gives you a little bit of an edge. And I think it's really true at all levels. You watch pro football, certainly college football, and even in high school football. If you have a difference maker there, it can be a really driving thing. And I think the big thing on their quarterback, first of all, I want to thank him for getting extra years for players because that helped Weegan get back in the fold. And then also just, the dynamic impact he's had on their team. Not only what he does physically, but the leadership and the confidence I think he helps breed. I don't want to speak for Coach Lee, but I'm sure he would tell you that's a big, big part of their growth and their success.
Chad Leistico.
What you guys have been so close to these highly ranked teams all year. Now you get another one. How much, I guess, energizing will that be? I know every matchup's good, but how energizing is this opportunity for your players, do you think?
Well, it's kind of old hat, as you know, Chad, because we're always, I say always, 98% of the time we go to a bowl game, we're the underdogs.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're certainly ranked underneath or not ranked at all. And that is the case here. So they've been able to win 10 games, which is tough to do. Both of us play in really competitive conferences. I think that's proven itself. And then it's a real credit to them. So, yeah, I think every bowl game's special, certainly. And, yeah, this time we've got, two really good teams that are relatively healthy as far as I know they are. And I know we are relatively healthy for this time of year. So it's a great opportunity. And, anytime you get to play, last time we were in Tampa, we got to play against a team that was ranked nationally and ranked near the top of every meaningful statistic defensively. And then they had a quarterback that was also a winner, actually. Not exactly the same package. Their guy, Mississippi State's guy, was big, tall guy, but nonetheless a winner and really, really versatile player. So maybe in some ways there's some parallels here, but it's just there's no downside to playing in a bowl game. Absolutely no downside when you get to play a top 15 ranked team. That's really special.
Tom Kakert.
Kirk, I know around this time of year you tried out the Bill Brazier quote, "There's no such thing as a bad bowl game." Apparently that's not true around the country when you see teams basically bailing out on bowl games. What are your thoughts on teams, for whatever reason? I know it's kind of the dynamic of today with coaches leaving and portals and everything else, but thoughts on teams just skipping a bowl game?
Yeah, I look back, I think, big picture wise, probably some of my vantage points on college football changed the day we got a phone call across the way. But the day I was on the phone call when we learned that, UCLA and USC were joining the Big Ten, and that you could argue, I guess, that, the addition of Maryland and Rutgers maybe was the real start of it. But my only point is good, bad, or different. I'm not making judgment of that. Other than two things were clear. Geography really doesn't matter anymore, and then tradition doesn't matter because we've thrown that thing upside down. And then right along with that, this year I think fits right in with that, with all the firings that took place during the season. That was unprecedented. And then I think this is more fallout of the world that we've entered into. So that's my nickel summary of the whole thing. And I'll take it a step further. I know, at least I read that both teams are going to be fined, I believe, by their conferences, which, I don't know the dynamics of all that. I would say that's probably something that ought to be petitioned, because this is really just it's one more unintended consequence of the path that we've chosen to take. So I don't know all the particulars, but I'm guessing, they're having a hard time being able to guarantee they're going to have a healthy roster, kind of like the pandemic. I'm assuming that's why the cancellations have taken place. But, what do you think was going to happen with the world that we've created? And, there's going to be more of it, unfortunately, in the future, I'm guessing.
Jack Lido.
Hi there, Kirk. I was going to ask a similar question to Tom there. I guess what are the positives then of having you be at Iowa for so long? A lot of your assistants have been there for so long, making year two better than year one, three better than two, and just having that all add up to a loyal program. But what kind of positives can happen with a program like that, where you specifically, you haven't left in 27 years?
Our guys are more apt to opt out because they're tired of my ass. It's one of those deals. So that's probably the flip side of it. But yeah, I think there are a lot of arguments that you can make in terms of the benefits of having a stable program. And that's been one of our goals from day one, was to try to build this and make it as solid as possible. And, we're proud of the things we've been able to accomplish. The fact that, we've won 8 games every season since 15. It's a pretty small group if you think about that. And if you really stop and think about that, the significance of that, it's a little deeper than maybe people think on first blush. It's hard to do, and there's a reason it's hard to do. Just like we went on to feed in 15, that was historic, but there's a reason because it is hard to do that. So I think there are a lot of benefits, and I'm proud of the fact since 2020, and I guess since 2015 as well, we're fifth, I believe, in the conference of 18 teams in terms of victories. So maybe it's not always flashy, maybe it's not always stylistic, but the fact that we've been successful more than not successful, that's the goal. And then, it's each and everybody's individual right to figure out what the criteria they want to judge programs on, whether it be a fan, in an administration, whatever, the people that make decisions. That's everybody's personal decision to make, but it just depends on how you look at the world. And I do know this, what we do is really competitive. There are a lot of teams trying to do the very same thing. We saw two really good teams in our conference last night play, and that game could have gone either way at any point. And we didn't play Ohio State this year, but we played Indiana. It was a great football game. If anybody was at the game, anybody that was attending or watching closely, it was just a great football game. So, but those games can go either way, and that's the reality of what we do. And but I'm proud of the fact that our guys were able to compete against a team like that, or against a team like Oregon, who's fifth right now, and compete with them, step by step.
Okay, we've got time for a couple more. Chad?
Yeah, obviously probably 2.5 weeks or so before you leave for the game. And I'm sure you had practices this week. I'm just curious, I'm sure it's the same every year, I'm guessing, but how much developmental work will you get? When does that, I guess, what's your calendar like with developmental guys, younger guys for the next few weeks here, especially as we talk about, looking at quarterbacks for next year?
Yeah, so I just got done talking about how things aren't the same, or, you can't. So certainly I've pulled out schedules from the last, 10 years or so and just, do some comparisons. Two factors. Number one, our team's different, and what our needs are right now are a little different. And then the other thing that's really dramatically different, Chad, is this is the first year that I'm aware of where we're all confined to the barracks right now, all of us as coaches. So this is actually like a normal job this next month, believe it or not. And so we go to work, we're coaching football, and our recruiting's basically done for the most part. We'll be researching the portal stuff, all that, like everybody, I'm sure. But we're going to go in the morning and be there through normal hours, and actually, be at home with our families at night. So it's really kind of a nice football month, if you will. But yeah, to your point, so it gives us some time to be, I think, sane in our approach. We do have finals a week from now, so this is our last week with normal class schedule. We'll work several times this week with the entire team, and if you, in some ways it's like a bye week extended. I'm really, especially last week and this week, just mindful of the guys that have played 400, 500, 600, 700 snaps. We want to get them back, just let them recharge and get back, kind of keep them in football shape, but not to any great extent. And then work the guys that haven't played those, several hundred snaps. So we'll try to give those guys 3 or 4 opportunities to practice. You can't go real long because you don't have a big group, but it gives you a chance to look at your entire roster. And quarterbacks, a thing of we're really interested in everybody's development, but quarterbacks, both lines, offensive, defensive line. You've got some veteran guys off the offensive line that aren't going to be here. Same thing with the defensive line. We've got 5 guys leaving the room. So, what are the younger guys doing? What do they look like? How can they progress? And trying to move them forward so they, when spring ball comes around, they're able to compete.
Okay, Coach. Last question, Mitch Fick.
Coach, just hoping to get your thoughts on Matt Campbell leaving for Happy Valley and just his legacy in Ames.
Nothing but respect for Matt. He's done a tremendous job. Absolutely. He's a first-class human being from my perspective, my interactions. Really respect him professionally and respect him personally on a personal basis. Not that we're close friends. I don't want to give a false image, but we've obviously worked together on certain things, state clinics, things like that. And I think he's really been great for the state of football, or the state of football at Iowa State, and then for the entire state. And I think that's not that anybody said it's not number one on our list, but I think it's part of our job description, quite frankly. So he's been good for their program. And again, nothing but respect. Their teams always were well coached and competed at a very high level. And wish him the best to a degree moving forward. Unless we're playing them, which I got no idea what our schedules look like in the future, but I imagine we'll be playing them somewhere in the next couple of years.